Can a poor, uneducated rickshaw puller become one of the most beloved disciples of a pure devotee? Many people believe ISKCON is only for the rich, the educated, or highly qualified. But today we will hear a true story that completely destroys that misconception and reveals the astonishing power of Ahaituki Bhakti, causeless mercy. Is ISKCON for the wealthy people? A common misconception in India is that ISKCON is an organization meant only for the rich and the educated, that only Westerners, IIT graduates, scientists, intellectuals, and highly educated people become its members. But these are merely external misconceptions. What is the truth? Today, through this beautiful pastime of Srila Govinda Swami Maharaj, we will understand the answer. Let us go back to the year 1988. Two ISKCON devotees got down at the old bus stand in Bhubaneswar and decided to go to the ISKCON temple at Nayapalli. They began looking for a rickshaw, but one after another every rickshaw driver refused to take them. The temple was located far away in a lonely forest-like area. The road was considered risky and most drivers were unwilling to go there. Finally, one rickshaw puller agreed, but only for rupees 10, which was much higher than the normal fare at that time. When they reached the temple gate, the devotees paid him, offered their respects by saying Hare Krishna, and entered the temple. The rickshaw puller also replied smilingly Hare Krishna. At that time, the temple was still under construction. There was no boundary wall and the entire property was visible from the national highway. There was only a simple mud cottage where Srila Govinda Swami Maharaj resided. The rickshaw driver noticed a saint sitting on a chair surrounded by devotees. Some were walking, others were sitting peacefully. Everyone who came offered their respectful obeisances to the saint. Out of curiosity, the rickshaw driver came a little closer. He noticed that many devotees were carrying a small cloth bags around their neck with their right hands inside them. Although he felt hesitant, after all he was just an ordinary rickshaw puller. He gathered the courage to step into the temple grounds. Inside he silently observed everything. Fear lingered in his heart. He wondered if someone might question him or ask why he had entered. Soon he realized that he was standing in a monastery, a sacred place of worship. Then a thought from his childhood suddenly arose in his heart. He had grown up in a tribal village where he had always been taught never go before God empty-handed. Whenever they visited a place of worship, they would always carry an offering, rice, firewood, fruits, or whatever they had. But today he had nothing, no rice, no fruits, no sacred offering. Nothing at all. He became deeply troubled. What can I offer, and to whom should I offer it? Yet before leaving the temple that day, his simple and innocent heart made a decision. He offered everything he had. Then, overwhelmed by shyness and fear, he ran away as soon as the devotees tried to stop him. But he returned, and this time he returned forever. He never went back to his old life, because Srila Govinda Swami Maharaj had accepted his offering, not an offering of wealth, but an offering of the heart. That ordinary rickshaw driver later became Sitapati Das, one of the fortunate disciples of Srila Govinda Swami Maharaj. His Grace Sitapati Prabhu recalls, I had come from the tribal hills of Fulbani. Fear was never a part of my nature. I was courageous. So when the devotees asked me to take them to that lonely forest-like place, I agreed without hesitation. After they entered the temple, curiosity drew me inside as well. I saw Srila Gurudev chanting on his beads, surrounded by devotees. Some were walking while chanting and others were sitting peacefully. At that time I was wearing only a pair of half pants, a sleeveless vest, and a gamcha tied around my waist. I had never seen anyone chanting on beads before. In fact, I had never seen people like them. And for the very first time in my life, I saw a saint. His face shone with extraordinary brilliance, as though rays of sun were emanating from his body. one devotee affectionately offered me a little khichdi prasadam. Its taste was like nectar. Never in my life had I eaten anything so delicious. Even today I long for the taste of that khichdi. But alas, when Gurudev left this world, that taste also seemed to disappear. I thought to myself, by great fortune I have come to this divine place. If I leave without offering something, it would be a great sin. Just then I noticed a devotee approaching Gurudev and offering him some cash. I clearly remember that devotee was His Grace Patita Pavan Prabhu. Seeing this, I thought I should also offer something. Looking around, I saw several devotees carrying cloth bags around their neck with their hand inside. Not knowing that they were japa bead bags, I assumed they were meant for collecting donations. Gathering all my courage, I approached one devotee who was standing a short distance from Srila Gurudev, chanting softly. I reached into my pocket, took out every note and coin I had earned that day from driving my rickshaw, and without a second thought dropped all of it into his bead bag. The devotee was completely startled. He exclaimed loudly, "Hey, what are you doing?" But by then I had already ran away. I rushed out through the temple gate, jumped onto my rickshaw, and paddled away as fast as I could. Some devotees ran after me, but I was a very fast rider. By the time they reached the gate, I was already far away. That night I couldn't sleep. One question kept troubling my mind again and again. I only tried to make a donation. Why did the devotees shout at me? What mistake did I make? I was afraid that they had complained about me to that radiant saint, their spiritual master, whose glowing face still remained vivid in my memory. Then I tried to console myself. Surely they must have realized that I was only trying to make an offering. Still, the thought of their anger frightened me. I firmly decided I will never go back there again. But the Lord had a different plan. A few days later, after dropping off a passenger at CRP Square, which was very close to the ISKCON temple, I suddenly felt an irresistible urge to visit the temple again. My mind warned me. What if they recognize me? What if they scold me? But another thought reassured me. Several days have passed. Who would remember me now? Gathering my courage, I rode my rickshaw back to the temple. That day, once again, a devotee lovingly served me khichdi prasadam, the same nectar like preparation my heart had been longing for. Then he invited me, "Come every morning and hear the classes of Srila Govinda Swami Maharaj." His words touched my heart deeply. There was such joy in them. Gradually, although I lived far away, I began coming regularly to hear Gurudev's classes. With every visit, my happiness increased more and more. But life was not easy. I was a poor rickshaw driver, burdened with severe family difficulties. A few years later, circumstances forced me to leave Bhubaneswar and return to my tribal village. But once mercy touches the heart, it never leaves. In 1991, the Sankirtan bus of ISKCON Bhubaneswar came to my village in Fulbani. The moment I saw the devotees, all my old memories came flooding back. My heart became overwhelmed with longing for Gurudev. That very day I purchased one of their books, Isopanishad. I spent the entire night reading it, and by morning my decision was firm. I must return to Bhubaneswar. I must go back to the lotus feet of Srila Gurudev. So I left behind my home, my possessions, and all my family ties, and returned to Bhubaneswar with only one desire, to live as the dog of my Gurudev. Then the impossible happened. Srila Govinda Swami Maharaj accepted me as his disciple. Even today I wonder. I was just a tribal boy from the hills of Fulbani. I had come to Bhubaneswar only to earn a livelihood by pulling a rickshaw. I had no wealth, no education, no spiritual knowledge, and no qualifications, neither material nor spiritual. Yet, somehow the merciful glance of a pure saint fell upon me. Many educated, influential, and spiritually advanced people were seeking shelter at his lotus feet. Yet he gave shelter to me, the most unqualified of all. Why? I still do not know. Even today I am amazed how did someone like me become a disciple of Srila Gurudev. It has now been more than 35 years since I joined ISKCON, yet not even once have I ever felt that I was once a rickshaw driver in my previous life. This is the beauty of a Vaishnav society. This is the Vaishnav society established by Srila Prabhupada and Srila Govinda Swami Maharaj. This is ISKCON, a society where no one is judged by their past, their social status, or their occupation, but by their sincere desire to serve Krishna. Sitapati Prabhu is not the only example within ISKCON. We all know Haridas Prabhu, one of Srila Prabhupada's disciples. His story is well known. Before joining ISKCON, he was a pickpocket and a thief. He used to steal other people's money and belongings. One day he saw a newspaper photograph of Srila Prabhupada wearing an expensive Rolex watch. He came to ISKCON with only one intention, to steal that watch. But instead of stealing, he himself was stolen by mercy of Srila Prabhupada. Through Srila Prabhupada's causeless compassion, he not only became a disciple, but one of his beloved disciples, dedicating his entire life to the service of his spiritual master at ISKCON Juhu, Mumbai. ISKCON is like the sacred river Ganges, a pure current of devotion flowing from Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Here the ordinary law of cause and effect completely collapses. According to worldly logic, a thief or a rickshaw puller is certainly not a qualified recipient of the priceless gift of Bhakti. Yet he received it. Why? Because it was Ahaituki Kripa, causeless mercy. Undoubtedly, nothing in this material world exists without a cause, and yet, astonishingly, there is one place where this universal law no longer applies. Today we have seen how even the principles of cause and effect breaks down before the causeless mercy of a pure devotee. And this is known as Ahaituki Kripa, causeless mercy of pure devotees. Today Sitapati Prabhu is a dedicated brahmachari at ISKCON Bhubaneswar. He travels with the Namahatta Padayatra, preaching in tribal villages, performing kirtan, and helping countless souls reconnect with Lord Krishna. Such a transformation is possible only through mercy, and that mercy is Ahaituki, completely causeless. A saint's compassion never depends upon previous qualifications. It is not based on birth, education, wealth, social position, influence, strength, or even renunciation. The vision of a saint transcends all material considerations. Even one who possesses no qualifications at all may receive the saint's mercy. Why? Because a saint never sees the external covering, he sees only the eternal soul. He knows that every living being is the eternal servant of Lord Krishna, and his only desire is to guide each soul back to the lotus feet of the Lord. Material accomplishments have no value when compared with the soul's eternal relationship with Lord Krishna. In this age of Kali, Ahaituki Kripa is our only hope. Otherwise, who among us is truly qualified? Today, almost everyone is a Shudra or even lower. By our own strength, none of us can attain liberation. Therefore, mercy must be causeless. Only then can we remain spiritually alive. His Grace Sitapati Prabhu once shared, a devotee once asked me, "Why do you repeatedly tell everyone that you were once a rickshaw driver?" I replied, "How can I hide it? It constantly reminds me of the power of a sadhu's mercy. Even today, I remain spiritually alive only because of that mercy. If I ever forget it, I will become nothing more than a dead body." Through such living examples, Srila Govinda Swami Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, and all our great acharyas have firmly established this eternal truth. Mercy is Ahaituki, completely causeless. This completely shatters the misconception that ISKCON is only for a particular class of people. Haridas Prabhu and Sitapati Prabhu are not isolated examples. There are countless devotees like them who have come to ISKCON and transformed their human lives through the causeless mercy of the Lord and His devotees. ISKCON is the flowing current of Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, where the compassion of the great acharyas and pure devotees continues to flow through the disciplic succession, inviting every soul to immerse itself in the ocean of bhakti. The only question is, will we approach that mercy with a simple, humble heart, or will we run away from it because of our false pride and ego? Hare Krishna.